Good evening everyone, welcome back to Tom Plays Factorio for absolute beginners. We have just set up a coal mine and we need to make a train for it and finish off the infrastructure at the other end. So let's see. Should be coming in here, right. I do want to make sure it doesn't get held up. So let's make a nice big line of boxes. May as well just replenish everything else as well, because hopefully our drones will come and equip us, at least when we get within range. Right. So how far up do we have to get before it's actually useful? Right, so we do definitely want to get to here. Yeah, at least here, I think. So we could actually just try to bypass everything by going straight north. Which might make more sense. Ooh, hang on. Hang on. I don't really want to interfere with the steelworks if I can avoid it. Do I have some spare iron? I do. Not much, but a little. Feeling a little bit hampered here. I have a lack of transport belts, so maybe I should drop some stone off. This is full, isn't it? Typical. Right, okay, let's wait for some transport belts. Actually, we also need to think about making a train, so it's mostly the engine units that we're going to need for that. So, yeah, let's go grab those. Grab a bit of ammunition, just so the next time we are somewhere that can use them. Okay, engines. They live here somewhere. Yeah. So if I build a train, I'll drop the engines I didn't use off, assuming I can find them. And we're also going to need a couple of cargo wagons. And of course I have a bunch of wood. You're still using wood. Excellent. And maybe I'll dump some of this coal in here. Okay, got my transport belts back. Okay. Not fancying me chances there. How am I going to get through? We can get through if we go this way. So if I just turn us here. So I try to compromise between not going too circuitous a route, but also not interfering with the steelworks at all in case we want to expand them later. Admittedly, that feels unlikely, given that we've just researched the rocket silo. Right, so actually, this is where we want to be. So, fabulous. So let's just head along here. Things are getting a bit more sparse now. And it might be a good idea Why is this all on one side? Alright, so do we have a coal train drop stuff off? That's fine. I was wondering if we needed to mess with this, but I don't think it actually matters. Okay. So in theory the coal train's done. Well, sort of. Let's just test it and then we'll get down to the rocket silo. We are almost there. But having more or less set up a new coal mine, I'm a bit loath to just give up on it, I should say. Right. So just make another train. Add a couple of cargo wagons. Change the colour. This is carrying coal, so it's going to be all black. Oh, it's probably a good thing I didn't use all my coal up. Okay, so we're going to have coal drop off southwest, and that's going to be empty cargo, and coal mine southwest, and that's going to be full cargo. And we'll set you to automatic. So if I get on board and give it all of my coal. That is a point. Actually, we need to make sure it's getting loaded with coal. Ironically, as in the engine's getting loaded with coal, not just the cargo wagons. So I suppose we can actually do that at the mine. So if I just pop out here, make a second splitter. Realise I completely forgot to get those again. Never mind. The productivity modules. I would normally have brought some. Put some in that mine. Not to worry. Right, let's just test this. Given how close we are to finishing, I really shouldn't worry about conserving our almost unlimited coal supplies. Okay. So I just want to make absolutely sure that this works, and then we're going to have a rocket silo to build. And possibly a planet to finally escape. And I guess go back to whatever our home is before we crash landed. So just the usual drill. Try to make sure you test everything you set up. It's funny how you find that you've missed things, or at least I do. This might just be me being a bit rubbish. Excuse me. Everyone seems to have colds at the moment, and I haven't entirely escaped. Okay, brilliant. So boxes have set up. Generally looking pretty good. I should try to replenish some of the things we've used as well. Yeah, I think we've got this one. And it's through. Okay, brilliant. Right, so the rocket silo. We're finally there. Is there anything we need to build afterwards? Well, I think the science roofs, the space science pack is the obvious one. Oh no, hang on. No, that's done by satellites. So yeah, that's automatic. We had this before, didn't we? So there probably isn't anything we desperately need to research. So let's do some of the non-purple things. Is this down as being queued? Because it needs to not be if it is. Oh no, it's fine. It started. Okay, brilliant. So what do we actually need to build a rocket silo? So we need satellites to send up there. I mean, technically we don't, but if you're carrying on with the game, then you want to, and I don't actually know if it'll launch without them. It really ought to. But yeah, in theory, even though that's technically the end of the game, you can carry on and your satellites will bring back space science packs. So we'll need somewhere for those to come out at least, and we could use them to research even more advanced things. So we need a cargo landing pad. Oh, that's interesting. And the actual rocket silo. So we need a bunch of electric engine units. We need more processing units than we've got. We need a staggering amount of concrete and steel plates. The steel plates may be a problem, actually. Because so far I've only set one electric furnace to make steel plates for us, so we actually don't have very many. Right, so that's a problem. I am going to have to steal some steel plates. So I think the vast majority of our plates come through here. So I'm basically going to have to be really evil, starve everything we're working on, and get to doing our steel plates. Right, so we're going to probably speed run a fair bit of research here. So I might just go for things that will help our defense, such as this. And what else do we need for the silo? So we've got the concrete, the processing units, the electric engine units. Okay. Alright, so that's fine. There's the concrete. Processing units should be up here. Electric engine units will also be up here. Not there though. Nope, that's flying robot frames. This is electric engine units. Yeah, so now we're literally just waiting for steel plates. Which is probably going to take a while, unfortunately. Okay. I did figure there'd be another hurdle to cross. I was not expecting it to just be steel. Right, with that in mind, let's... we want to find a place for the silo of, I think this place is probably looking at me as an obvious one. Could go over there or down here. We just need a nice empty area really. But I think this is probably good because we've got some of the higher tech stuff in the northeast as well. Ooh, that's being held up. Sorry. I guess we could actually have a look at it in general. But yeah, I'm sure we've got room for rockets here. Let's just get you going so that our artillery can unload. Actually, we could check the other artillery. Not particularly worried about it because we've got robotics everywhere. I'm just a little curious as to whether it's backing up now. And it is. Not much, but it is. So that's fine. I need to get some more roboports. Let's just see if we can finish our coverage of the base. Oh, good grief, easily. Got like a ton of these now. Okay then. Let's finish this. And I guess I actually needed to go check on that base, right? Fine. Fine. Let me just power this up. I wonder if that means it was out of artillery and we just had it shooting a load off when it got delivered. That would explain the damage. Still, it's not too bad, he says happily. As a further attack comes in. Oh well. Yeah, better check it isn't full again actually. I don't know how long it's been stuck there. Although at least we seem to have quite a bit of stockpiled artillery shells now. That's a real problem, that copper getting stuck. I'm still hoping that we will be using more now. Okay. I think that's sorted. That's pretty stuck or pretty full already, isn't it? Let's send it off. May as well have all this artillery in the actual copper mine as having it sat at the station in the train. Right. There are a bunch of additional defences we can get, but I don't think we need them. So I'm just going to keep upping our weaponry. These roboports, we could actually equip some more outposts and mines and things with roboports as well. Seeing as we seem to have so many. Ooh, hang on. There's somewhere in the middle I could get that would close all of these gaps. It would appear there is not. Okay. Well, that's fine. I will just put up with it. I just forget about this entrance. I designed this ages ago. This is... well, I don't know about design, took advantage of the landscape. I wonder how well it's technically protected now. Still, I mean, with all the outposts they'd have to get through to even get to it, it's not really a concern. And I don't think I ever used it much as a way in and out. Okay. Probably using more robo ports than I actually need to here. I'm not too fussed as long as we get sufficient coverage. Okay, looks like missed quite a bit down here. Yeah, I might have been overestimating a bit when I said we had loads of roboports. It's amazing how you use them up when you're trying to cover the base. How are we doing here? Right, so that's actually the wall, isn't it? I question a bit how badly we actually need to go over there then. Now it looks like I should have picked up more. Okay. Oh well. Still. That's quite an improvement. How are we doing for steel? 58. I was thinking I'd check on the amount we've accumulated once this reaches 100, because that's kind of what we're requesting. Of course, it looks like they've been waiting to give me a load for ages, but we're not quite there. going to just be a bit self-defeating and build a steel box. But yeah, I feel like I might as well fill up the 100 at least from the requester before I go manually picking a load up. Why have I not put this roboport down? I was going back to get more there. Still got one. Okay. Now I can go back to get more. Right. Well, braking force does use purple. I'm going to keep on with the stuff that doesn't first. It's not there yet. As long as I don't pick that up, then I'll still get slowly replenished by the drones until I get to 100. Okay. Let's finish this. This bit just needs filling in by the look of it. It's a little close to the railway track, but I'm sure it's fine. And again, we probably don't really need anything over this way. I don't mind putting one in. But honestly, I mean, these are just at sea, they're in no danger of attack. So I think we've basically got logistics everywhere now. Through the whole base. So we've finally finished. Just before the end of the game. Excellent. So with this in mind, how about if we let it finish its steel and we'll just go and stick roboports in Copper Mine Southwest, because that's the one that kept getting damaged. Actually, I don't know, let's just check. We might not even need to, because I haven't actually heard it getting damaged since we upgraded the lasers. And we've got 100 there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're very nearly to 1,000. I just need that to hit 900, and then I think I can confiscate this, and we can now make a rocket silo. any of these things still burning wood? Oh, they are. Okay, you can have a bit of wood. You can have a bit of coal. We're also going to need this cargo landing pad. So we should get everything we need for that apart from the concrete. Which is fine. Excuse me. Alright, yeah, I see. It's just replenishing our processing units. That's fine. Okay, concrete. Just need a couple of hundred of those. And then let's go place a rocket silo. So I was thinking here. A little bit out of the way, but I mean, you don't want to be launching noisy rockets in the middle of everything. I don't want to disturb all of our non-existent residents. Okay, so I can do productivity modules, which reminds me that I completely neglected to pick any up. We now have this option of a cargo landing pad, which is interesting. We didn't used to have that before the space age upgrade, which might remember if you've been here all this time, but started this playthrough before the space age upgrade landed, and I think before I was even expecting it. Although I could be wrong. Yeah, so I'm not actually sure how the cargo landing pad works. But actually, before I worry about that, maybe I should worry about making some satellites. Right, so the satellites I think we can quite reasonably just entirely supply with drones. We're doing fine for nuclear power. So I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to make myself a little assembler, tell it to make me satellites. Okay, so the one thing I don't think we're automatically making is radar. And the low density structures we probably do have coming in here anyway. So let's make another assembling machine just for radar. So I need iron gear wheels and electronic circuits to that one. Actually, I can't help feeling like we should make the radar somewhere else. And we've got electronic circuits here, but I mean, surely we can get iron and iron gear wheels as well. That sounds like a combination we've done before. Iron, electronic circuits, and iron gear wheels must be around here somewhere. Those are iron gear wheels, aren't they? Yeah, we already have this as a combination. Pretty much. In fact, if I put you here, and set you to make radar, pretty sure. Let me just make a passive provider chest. But I'm pretty sure I can get iron electronic circuits and gear wheels. No problem at all. There we go. So you're producing radar. Right, that's fine. I will leave you to get on with it. So the other thing that wasn't direct was low density structures, which must be coming in here somewhere. That's... no, hang on, they're not coming in here. Huh. I really thought we had low density structures up here. Oh, they're here, aren't they? Those are low density structures. Right, okay, that's fine then. I will make a splitter for these. And we will just run you straight over. Okay, so what else do we need? I'm gonna want some requester chests. So we're definitely going to want some power, and make a standard chest to hold these temporarily. Right, so we also want processing units, which I kind of feel like we've also have coming in already. We do. Okay. Alright, well that's quite easy. To be fair, I did sort of say I was doing it here because there was already a lot of high-tech stuff in this area, so fair enough. There. So one side is low density structures and the other side is processor units. I believe the low density structures only appear on one side. Yeah, they do. If we want to be really paranoid, we could make sure of that by sending on a slightly circuitous route here. But yeah. That should do it. Okay. Also we need rocket fuel, solar panels, accumulators and radar. Excellent. Okay. So in actual fact we only really needed one of these, but I'll do 2 per requester chest. You can do radar. Because they're not going to fill themselves up, they're only requesting a certain amount of each kind. The other ones were solar panels and accumulators. Okay. Ah, here they are. Now I don't know whether I have these in provider chests or not. I don't think I do, so I'm going to have to go and fix that. However, ooh, physical projectile damage 6. Uses yellows but not purples. What about this last thing, this cargo landing pad? While that's building, I will go and do the requester chests. Not requester chests, passive provider chests. So the accumulators are around here somewhere. Ah, over here. Yeah, so this is a standard chest at the moment. So I want a passive provider chest instead. And solar panels. I think here. And there we go. Okay. Let's try and replenish things a little bit. I think that does it. Right, need to work out how to do this cargo thing. Not immensely important, I don't think. I might just stick them next to each other. There you go. Do that. Oh, rocket fuel. I haven't done the rocket fuel yet. Apparently you don't need any power, but we are going to need power to offload from you, presumably. So this is where the science things are going to come out. Like a little box to hold them. And I just need to do the rocket fuel, which I have been building somewhere. Oh, excellent. Let's make you a passive provider chest. That's solid fuel. I'm sure I was building rocket fuel as well though. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was building solid fuel on the assumption that I would turn it into rocket fuel later. Oh no, there we are. There's our rocket fuel. Right. Okay then. Passive provider chest on rocket fuel. And ended up with some low density stuff that we don't need. So how many of these do we need? Okay, well let's just check this. I don't want to send towards it automatically because I'd like to make a little ceremony of it. I mean, not really. I'd just like to press the launch button myself. So the big question is just going to be how long is this actually going to take? Because in theory we now have everything we need. In theory. Does take an awful lot of stuff to launch this though. I'm not confident that we're going to be doing this today. Which is kind of a shame because in a way we've kind of finished. But yeah, here's our first little satellite. Ooh, hang on. Ah, now that's interesting. Right, I need to hold off for a minute. I was merrily assuming that... Okay, so assuming the cargo drop-off goes there, so we don't want stuff coming out again, I was merrily assuming that the satellites would just load onto the rocket. Right, so I also need to load this itself with things. Alright. That's just me being forgetful. Yeah, probably we can get the satellites in there in advance. It's just because I've left it allowing stuff to leave, and I don't think it's meant to anymore. I think this stuff that leaves is meant to go to the cargo. Okay, so if I just do 3 requested chests, I'm going to want a rocket fuel. A low density structures, and what was the other one? Processing units. There we go. Now let's try this again. I can find my satellite. Here it is. So hopefully this time it'll just stay in the rocket inventory to when the rocket launches. Yes. So that's good. Contains space science packs. Right. Cool. So hopefully that will fill up. And what do we actually need to make the rocket? The rocket actually doesn't need that much. It's satellites that really need all the stuff. So it's whether it will let me launch the rocket without having a full load of science packs, because technically full load of satellites. So technically we only actually need those if we want to keep the game going, and I'm planning to actually finish the game when we launch the rocket, as I've probably said way too many times by now. So this bit's technically totally unnecessary. Just trying to offload anything I didn't need. Okay, yeah. This definitely isn't that. It definitely isn't going to be that fast. I think at this point it might be worth our unleashing a few more logistics robots. Honestly, because I think we need them. As I'm making those. And we do have all that extra power now. There we go, that should speed things up a bit. So the other thing I was thinking of doing was adding more steam turbines to the nuclear power stations, because I was really not making as many of those as we needed, as we could, I mean. Especially now we've got two reactors. At the same time, we're not really struggling, are we? So maybe I shouldn't worry about it. Kind of feels like maybe I should be worrying about the amount of rocket fuel we have instead. Let's go. Oh, so these guys want to equip me. Good grief. Okay. I guess we did use quite a lot of stuff there. So yeah, fair enough. There you go, I've got a fair bit of that at least. So this rocket fuel. Alright, we need this solid fuel as well, don't we, to make it? Oh, we've still got those though. Yeah, it was literally just the logistics robots holding us up. So hopefully now I've increased the numbers somewhat. Probably to the massive detriment of our power supply. But that still doesn't seem to be struggling. Things should go a little faster. So when it's ready, we should see rockets poking out the top. Interesting. Alright, might go drop this stone off while I'm at it. Suddenly wondering about our iron production as well. Where's the iron train? Is it down here? It is down here. It's got stuck again, hasn't it? Right, let's go and sort that out. I was going to drop some stone off though. It's possibly not worth worrying about iron mine really far at this stage in the game, but we do still have a fair bit of building to do. Oh, good. So it should come back to here once it's fully emptied. Okay, well that's unexpected. That's nowhere near as empty as I thought it would be. Huh. Maybe we need another iron mine. Grief. Right, well, seeing as I'm here, I will drop you off some mines. Let's just check your actual coverage as well. The coverage looks pretty good. Okay. Fine. Yeah, I guess it must have been quite close to setting off because it was almost full when we arrived here. It's not quite as bad as I was thinking. Alright. So if anything, I've probably slowed it down. Never mind. Right, come and get me. Maybe we need to look at speeding up some of the transport again for the iron. Or maybe I should just stop worrying so much. Okay. Looks like that's all the stuff we have on hand. So yeah, still no major issues in Copper Mine Southwest, so probably don't need to worry too much. I guess the lasers were sufficient for now. what I would ultimately do is extend the artillery to cover it, but we're sort of working our way out with the artillery, so we did have quite a way to go, which is why I was thinking roboports, especially since we now seem to have an abundance of them. Yeah, not so bad for iron, but for the iron plates coming in, but we don't exactly seem to have huge amounts of iron ore. These are all still running there. So I don't really know. I'd obviously try and speed them up. Oh, they are starting to fill up a little. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm worrying over nothing. We do still have quite a lot of this stuff. Enough so that I'm thinking maybe I should just unleash the rest of the logistics robots. Let's just go all out, shall we? How we're looking? Oh, we're pretty good actually. It does mostly seem to be a rocket fuel thing. Satellites just need processing units, okay. Well, I could probably help with that, to be fair. There you go. Maybe some more satellites. I'm more and more thinking that I probably don't need the satellites. This probably just represents... It does, yeah, how many space science packs you get back. Rocket capacity 1. Oh, right. Maybe I only need to send 1. Oh yeah, interesting. So they're actually blocking up, right? I think I was assuming I'd need a load of satellites. Does kind of make sense though. You send a rocket into space, you attach a satellite to it, and that allows you to do science. So that does actually make a lot of sense. Whether it used to be different, I'm not sure. Might explain my confusion there. Right, so maybe I should just go and grab some rocket fuel, because that really does seem to be our main barrier here. And apart from the fact that I keep forgetting where it is, I mean... There you go. Oh, right. Okay, that wasn't ideal then. should really have put it in the rocket fuel bit. There we go. That's a bit better. I feel like we are actually going to finish the game, so yes, hopefully that extremely long playthrough has given a good idea of what the game's like and how to play it. Obviously this was at a basic level because it's an absolute beginner's guide, you know, I am not claiming to be an expert, but I have finished it a few times before. A lot of the design I've done has been heavily inefficient and pretty chaotic, but the fact is you can actually do that and still win the game. So I'd kind of encourage people to experiment a bit and not to get too hung up on doing things the best way. But at the same time, once you've got the hang of a game, it's probably kind of fun to make things more and more efficient. And there's doubtless a lot of expert videos out there to help with doing that. I might even watch some myself now I've done this. But yeah, probably be doing something completely different next. So if I was carrying on with this, which I normally would do, at least for a while, I'd obviously be getting the space science packs and doing research with them. I would finish branching the artillery out to all the bases. I'd get roboport coverage in all the bases. But you wouldn't have that much further to go, which I think is what the Space Age DLC is for. To give things to do further on. So yeah, I will probably be trying that out myself at some point. But yeah, honestly, I mean, especially with all the extra weapons research we've done, I feel like we're reasonably secure as it is. I don't feel in any particular danger of attack. So I really think on normal mode you don't have to worry too much, you don't have to be that efficient. If you just go with the settings as they naturally start. You can of course play it without any enemies at all. That does take away, I don't know, it means obviously there's no point making weapons and things. But I suppose it does make things a bit more peaceful. I do find it quite peaceful anyway. Okay, here we go. So that is our signal that our rocket is ready to fly. So you can set it to automatically go when it's ready. Oh right, so we do have a rocket inventory here. Okay. It's interesting, but I can actually launch now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I think it's working on the next rocket is all. So here we go. We have officially finished the game. Kind of. That was 70 hours. 70 and a half hours. Congratulations, you have beaten the game by launching a rocket into space. You can continue playing this level as long as you like. Although you have won, there is still a lot to accomplish. Grow your factory, research infinite technologies, optimize your production and unlock more achievements. Thanks for playing the Factorio team. There we go. And it comes back down with the satellite, so this lands in the cargo area now. And that produces a whole bunch of the white vials, which we can use to do research. But otherwise, that's it. Alright, there's loads of room here as well, so we no longer need to worry about offloading it immediately, which used to be a bit of a concern. And as if on cue, everything starts getting attacked. I wonder if the space station acts as a kind of signal or something. But we're no longer concerned, because in theory, with the basic game, we have used that rocket to escape the planet. But in fact, we're actually still here. But we can make more rockets as we want. But that was it, yeah, that was Factorio. So I'm honestly astonished if you've managed to watch all the way through all 70.5 hours of this. But yeah, thank you for watching whichever bits you did watch. And I hope you got something out of it, one way or another. And yeah, I'll be on with something completely different next time. I'm probably back to a Tuesday, because this wasn't, I don't really think of this as a strategy game, so this was a bit of a, I just wanted to do it. So back to a strategy from now on. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.